Welcome to Win Souls TV. This is your host, Jeff Thomas. And I'm wearing my Win Souls hat. Anyway, I got my big dog with me, you know what I'm saying? Give me some. See, that's what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's always good to do these videos with your homie. You know what I'm saying? Give me some more. See? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's jump into the topic at hand because it is a very serious topic. We are talking about strongholds. We are talking about strongholds. So let me begin with a little story. So I went to a conference, Michael Van Vlymen and Bruce Allen conference. Maybe, I can't even remember when that conference was. But anyway, I went to the conference, and I love going to those conferences because the atmosphere and the presence of God is so strong that it's just unreal. And I just love taking notes and listening to what the Lord has to say, not only through the speakers, but through the people that also come to the conferences. I mean, it's just like an overabundance of an outpouring of God that is just expressed through those conferences. So if you have an opportunity to go, please go. Do not miss it, because there are things that are being broken open in the spirit in those conferences that you just cannot even imagine. But what happened was I was sitting in the hotel, and I was out in the general area in the front of the hotel, and one guy that I know pretty well, his name's Dave. He came up to me, and we were just talking about the Lord and everything, and out of nowhere he just started talking about strongholds. He just started talking about strongholds. And this is what he had to say. He said, when you come into agreement with things, by simply put, just by speaking it, it builds a stronghold or a prison in your mind, and we walk it out, and we're susceptible to it. But our weapons are powerful in pulling down strongholds, which is what the word tells us. Now, what is a stronghold exactly? Now, this is a definition of a stronghold from, Merriam-Webster, okay? It says it is a place dominated by a particular group or marked by a particular characteristic. Now, let's jump into that a little bit more. Now, is a stronghold necessarily a bad thing, or is it a good thing? Now, it can be both. It can be both. It all depends on the battlefield of the mind. And what do I mean by that? The mind is a part of the soul. Okay. Now, Satan wants a piece of your soul. He wants a part of that, even if you are a Christian. Why do I say that? Because if he can have a little part of that, then he can have influence in your life. The word tells us in Ephesians 4:27 to give no place to the enemy. So if we are out here speaking based on things of the world through, for me, I know this was a huge struggle for me in the past, and even a little bit now. Like, I like rap music. I have liked rap music in the past, but I will tell you, you have to be very careful at the rap music that you listen to. Why? Simply put, because a lot of the rap music that you listen to is talking about literally taking advantage of women, literally belittling women, drugs, sex, violence. It's all the same thing over and over and over again. And guess what? When you come into agreement with those things, you bob in your head, you know what I'm saying? You are accepting that atmosphere into your mind, right? Well, what happens then is that you have come into agreement with it, and so then you begin to act those specific things out. Same thing with television, right? You are bobbing your head, you're listening to, specific things on TV, whether they sound intellectual or not. You are coming into agreement with those things, and guess what? Satan is allowed specific areas in your life because you allow him to have those specific areas. Scary movies, certain political events and movements that are happening within this world. Perfect example, Black Lives Matter. You are coming into agreement with specific things, regardless of whether it's racism, regardless of whether it's supposed to be a movement that just seems nice and good, but in reality is being led by Satanists. Now, let's jump into Black Lives Matter just a little bit, because I understand that a lot of people watch these videos, whether they are black or white, and they are following Black Lives Matter. But I will tell you, Black Lives Matters is not an organization that you want to follow. Why do I say that? Well, guess what? These people are literally communists. They are communists, and the co-founder of Black Lives Matter has admitted to that. She said that she is a Marxist. What is a Marxist? Karl Marx was the beginning of one specific part of communists. And if you do more research on Karl Marx, he was a Satanist. He was a Satanist. So be very, very careful about these specific organizations and things that you come into agreement with. You are choosing a side of the world when we need to be choosing a side of God. Okay? And I will put specific links down from these people saying these things out of their own mouth. Okay? So, the proof is right there coming out of their own mouths. Okay? Now, venturing into that. Specific things that you come into agreement with. You know, if you say you get hurt in a relationship, this has been me in the past, you will say, oh, I'll never allow this to happen to me again, or I'll never do this, I'll never do that. Well, guess what? Satan can use that. Satan can use that. Or you come into agreement with a certain lifestyle, or you come into agreement with things that you know are wrong, but you try and find a way around it that is conducive to you being able to say that you haven't done anything bad. You see what I'm saying? So a perfect example is, guess what? You go into all of these parties, you're involving a lot of these people in your life. Now you are a Christian, right? But you still are kind of dabbling in the world. You involving all of these people in your life, you know, that are all the way in the world. But guess what? You can easily say, you know what? I haven't sinned yet. I haven't sinned. I haven't lusted. I haven't done any of these things. But guess what? You are involving yourself with people that want nothing to do with the Lord. Okay? They want nothing to do with the Lord. And if He has not led you over there to minister to those people, well, guess what? You might want to flee. You might want to flee, because it is a lot easier for them to pull you down than it is for you to build them up. They will not go anywhere until the Lord has conditioned their heart. Okay? And I keep saying that video after video after video, because he keeps harping on this over and over and over again. We are in a time period, literally, where there is a great falling away. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. Even Christians are picking a side concerning racism. You know, black people. I'm talking to you because I am black too, okay? All of this stuff that is in the news, I will tell you, it is coming directly from Satan. That is the root. White people are not our enemy. Regardless of whether they are acting out in racism, regardless of whatever, when you begin to side with a specific organization, now you are beginning to act out of that same specific mindset that racist people are. And racism is nothing but a tool from Satan. That is why I say that it comes from Satan. It creates division. It creates division. And the Lord wants us to move together in unity and in unison and as an army of Christ. Let's pick the side of Christ versus picking the side of color. Okay? No, there's nobody on this earth that is our enemy. Our enemy is Satan. Okay? And the last thing is, be very mindful of the way that you're walking. Be very mindful of the way that you're walking. Strongholds have a way of sneaking up on us in such a way that is just so subtle. So subtle. Satan wants you to just crack open that door just ever so slightly. And then trust me, before you know it, he'll be busting that thing down, and a whole band, a whole football team will be running through that door. You know what I'm saying? That door will be busted wide open, and it'll be so hard for you to close it. I've lived that life over and over and over again, and I didn't realize that I was in a cycle. And sometimes If you don't cut every single thing from that lifestyle, all of the people, all of the music that you are associated with, all of the things that you used to do, guess what? Sometimes Satan will use that one little thing that you decided to keep to bring you right back to where you were. And a lot of times it's going to be even worse than where you were before you started. So be very mindful of the things that you invite. Be very mindful of your words. A lot of music speaks in first person. I did this or I did that. Well, they may have actually lived that lifestyle, but when you begin to sing the music and you're saying, I do this, I do that, guess what? That's a negative affirmation. That's a negative decree. You see? So it's almost like you're cursing yourself every time that you speak negatively, but you are bringing that upon yourself and you're coming into agreement with it because the beat sounds so good. Be very careful. Be blessed. Have a good one.